Hey, this is Tracy Lewis with Stuff and Things. I am starting my Valentine series 2024. This year, I did not want to wait until the current paper pumpkin, which is always in January, a Valentine theme. And I haven't really paid much attention for this year, but the last 6 years, January has been Valentine. So I assume what's coming is going to be Valentine, but I've got some things going on with 2 different sets of company coming starting this Thursday. So I wanted to get a head start on Valentine, and I'm going to set it up for you for this episode and go through one card, and then subsequent episodes for the January Love Fest, as I will call it, will be using the parts and pieces that I mentioned here and there. So the first thing I want to do is go through the last 6 years, not including this year because the kit isn't here yet. So I have every January kit from 2018 through 2023. And I'm going to share with you what the stamp sets look like, and even give you a sneak peek of the instructions, because I think all but one I have the instructions. So for 2018, I will also share ones that I am going to be using and ones I have used. So January 2018 is called Heartfelt Love Notes. And this, I remember, I was living at my mother-in-law's for the time after our trailer accident happened. And this came in January, and I didn't have any supplies because I had lost everything in the trailer accident on December 30th. So I distinctly remember this kit, and I remember doing my best at some alternatives with very little supplies. So this actually is probably one of the most memorable paper pumpkin kit I've ever done, and I will always and forever remember it. So the color was rich raspberry, and I still have some pieces. I even kept one of the, usually I don't put anything in here except the stamp set and the instructions, but notice here I put one of the envelopes, my favorite one, just as a little memorabilia. And then in my box, I will just share with you really quickly that I have this box, and it is full of all of the leftover pieces. And if we get to the bottom of this box, I indeed have a very thick stash of supplies, and this was the trim that year, and I've got a whole bunch of it left. So I'm hoarding it, and at some point, I guess because it's so special to me, I have just saved all of those pieces, where subsequent kits, I went ahead and used up all the pieces for some of them and just didn't even think twice. So at some point, I'll be ready to let that one go. So here is its stamp set. It had a very unique, right justified black dropout letters, Happy Valentine's Day. Very unique. You can see it's been very well used. It has a very nice love. The Be Mine, I don't know why it's not been used. Ironically, though, the only people that I would probably do the Be My Valentine and Be Mine specifically would be like my husband and my mom. So that's probably why this has not been used. I do like Sending Hugs and Kisses to You. You Make My Heart Happy. This I've even used for non-Valentine. It has a heart with to and a heart with from. It has 2 different envelope stamps. The heart, the envelope with the X's and O's and hearts coming out, I do have on a block to use on my envelopes, which I have not decorated yet. And then I've got a different set of hearts from another set that I'm using for the insides. And then I have a couple more stamps ready because I've done the fronts on all of these. I do need to work on the insides and the envelopes for most of them. All right, so what else have we got? I talked about the love. We've got the to from. And then XOXO is a perfect XOXO. In fact, I ended up with one of my cards. When we get to it, I'll let you know what happened. I knew that this existed, but I couldn't find it. So I ended up using an alternative XOXO. There are 2 of them in these 6 sets that are really good. So that is 2018. Very significant year in my life. Very, very significant. Okay, so next we're moving on to 2019. Now this kit I absolutely loved, and I remember distinctly making these kits. These are pillow boxes for candy, but I remember very distinctly making like over 20, maybe 25 that I sent out to all of my card making friends and some family. So the significance on this one, the color was Melon Mambo, and the significance was the cute little animals. There's a chameleon, a little bird, and another little bird. This set is very small text. So I've used the Love Ya on one of the cards this year. For you, my friend, you're one in a chameleon. Happy Valentine's Day. Be my Valentine. Notice the Happy Valentines for me is well used, but Be my Valentine not very used, because of course that would only be for my mom or my husband. And don't ask me why. And a very tiny Be Mine would be very cute in a corner somewhere, like sideways, or like a repeated for a background. Then teeny tiny hearts would go nice with the Be Mine for something very dainty. We have the To From. I don't know what this one means. I think it is significant. You're so fly. I don't get it. If somebody knows what that means, let me know. I think at one point I did. Maybe it had to do with a TV show reference. And then this heart doesn't look very well used. And I like that heart shape. See, I didn't want to pay attention. I used this heart, which right now I've put all of my things away from making the cards, and I've only pulled out 4 new stamps for envelopes and insides. And I have not found the home for this fat heart. But I know that where I used this fat heart, this taller, more slender heart would have gone a little bit better. So that is, again, January 2019, and it is called Be My Valentine. Trying to keep these in order. Okay, so then we move on to January 2021. Again, very small sentiments, teeny tiny sentiments. Let's be friends, B-E-E. Notice the floral elements. Then there's a bee. We got little flowers, and there's another little flower. Wishing you a lifetime of love. That would be nice for a wedding or an anniversary, perhaps. Happy Valentine's Day, not used very much, but I like the centered and the caps. I have a For You that's inside this heart. It is not part of the heart. And then along the heart is the words with love. Very nice. I like the handmade. That was a unique one. I should remember that. And then here's B-E-E mine. And then a thank you that you probably can't read because I didn't line this one up very well. Let's see. So a very nice, tiny cursive thank you. There, so now you can see it. I love this swath of flowers, but they're very delicate and very busy. I did not use any of these stamps for this year, but I do see lots of nice stamps that would definitely, I would like to use them at some point and should be kept forever. In here somewhere, this is a clear crystal, a gemstone, and probably a Stampin' Up! Basic gemstone from back in the day. All right, and here is what the kit looked like, if that sparks your memory. I remember this kit well. I remember having this red pre-printed with the gold outline, and then you get to put the light pink hearts, of which I have them left over. The light pink hearts are not these. These are from 2021, and this is, 2021. So here's the little cute hearts. And of course, I use these so sparingly. I just like to hang on to them for the perfect occasion. So that's 2021. 2022, Blackberry Bliss. It is a very large, 2022. Oh, sorry, I messed up. I told you that this was 2021. It is not 2021. It is I'll Be Yours. And it's the one that I am missing the instructions for. So I am so sorry for that. So again, this is I'll Be Yours. The color was mint macaron, which would make more sense if we could see the instruction sheet, which I do not have. Again, a smaller set. Very nice. I would love to get some use out of it at some point. Now we're moving on to 2021. And 2021 is the heart shape, and it has an inked... I don't know if I had to ink that or not. And I don't know if I have pieces of it in here that I could review and see. I do have it. So I do have some pieces left over, and here are some of the pieces I made for alternatives back in the day. I have quite a few of the 2 different designs of card bases. Like one day I could pull them all out and just put together some cards. Here is one of the, no, I don't like this as well as I liked the other design. Oh, here it is. I have one. Yeah, so in this case, sorry, this is in a way a trip down memory lane for me. And you can buy these kits on the secondary market, I'd say for a pretty reasonable price. If you go to the Facebook groups, there's even a Paper Pumpkin Facebook group for selling used kits. So you could pick these up, if anything, for having the stamp sets forever. Collectible items. So again, this is the gold foil, and you put your big heart, and the color was Poppy Parade, and then you took those pink little hearts that were the puffy enamel, and you would put them on wherever you wanted them. And this particular stamp set, I did use quite a few of them this year. I used Sending Love Your Way is my primary sentiment I used on just about all of them. This is the XOXO that I used, where I would rather have had the smaller font, all the same size. I thought I used this Love, but it doesn't look stained. So whatever color I used on it, I might have done, this was probably... for this year, I used a Versamark version on a color, and I did it with white, and that's why that's still clean. Love the Heart Snail. Hi Valentine is cute. That I would use. I probably would go ahead and use that for friends, card friends, but it's more for my husband and my mom. And then there's a nice Be Mine. So that is 2021. 2022 is a oversized heart. It wasn't one of my favorites. It's a card shaped like a heart that opens up, and it was very soft colors, and it was called Kisses and Hugs. So this has an interesting stamp set. Puffy heart, not my favorite, but I do like the arrow going through that heart. Love You, For You, Friend. Those don't appear to be used. X and O not used. The only stamp I used was the heart. That is so interesting. Or I might have been, the color was Blackberry Bliss, which is a very dark color. So I am not sure with my sample cards what I ended up doing there. I remember doing this gray arrow, having some of those to move around. I remember using the inside foil of the envelopes, but I don't remember using these terms. So I might have come up with something else for sentiments. Who knows? So that is 122. Probably my least favorite for whatever reason. And then 2023 is Key to My Heart. These were purple and Calypso Coral. The colors were very odd. I struggled a bit with the oversized locks. I did like the To My Valentine. I did like the lock. I didn't use the key or this curly thing. I think I used this on one. You hold the key to my heart. Love is the key. I love you. That's a good one to use for non-Valentine, for a loved one. And then you'll see that this repeat heart in the different sizes is pulled out because I have it set aside to be used on envelopes and the insides of my cards. Fresh Freesia was the color for that. All right, so that's the setup. The other parts that are in most of these, I only have 2. I'm not really a big heart Valentine paper person. I only have 2 papers, and they are Country Floral Lane and Sweet Talk. I think that these are both, I know I wrote the notes, Country Floral Lane DSP is from January through April of 2023, and it's very possible Sweet Talk was also either from 2023 or it's from 2022. So you're going to see a lot of references to those because I use them throughout my set of cards. So now I want to go through the first card, do a quick walkthrough of it, and we will call this one done. And then I will be probably posting these every few days. I think I have 15 or so, maybe a couple more than 15 all done. Some of them are going to be paper pumpkins that I didn't use. I'm flipping through them now, so I will talk about those when the time comes to share with what I've done with those. And some of them I have actually done some updating to beef them up for me to be able to give them out. And I will review what I can of the materials. So the very first one, which is my favorite one, I pulled out a few that are my favorites. Like the first 3 are going to be favorites. This is Zany Zoo. This alligator riding a bike is like me on a bike. I live in a swamp. We have 26 lakes, alligators everywhere. They're usually pretty shy and they're very sedentary. So they're not as scary as you would think because they don't move very much, and if they do, you hope they're moving away from you, not toward you. You might see them in the lakes. Their eyes bulge up above the water line, and so you can see them. My husband calls it motor boating, and we have one here that is 65 years old called the Mayor, and he is at least 12 feet long. He is a big lug, and I don't know if it's even a he or a she, and he dwells most of the time at our largest lake called Buck Lake. So here's the Sending Love Your Way. This does indeed use the Country Floral Lane. I used the punch to cut out the big hearts. These hearts are part of the paper, though there is a stamp of that heart that if you didn't have the paper and you liked this, if you have the stamp set, you can replicate these hearts just by stamping and punching. These leaves are part of the punch, and these tiny hearts that have the floral pattern on them is the small heart. So you get a big heart, the small heart, and the 2 leaves. So I used for this one 2 blings, and I had the bling right here. It is a retired bling. I bought this actually when it was a last call or saying goodbye. Again, I'm not typically one to buy a lot of Valentine-y things. So if I do, they're like Sweet Talk, the DSP, I bought that on clearance as well. So this is called From My Heart. These are really, really beautiful. So I've had them for many years, and as you can see, my volume of them is dwindling because I've made them last many, many years. What is I can tell the age of something pretty much by the ID, the product identification. And this product ID, they're not too old, 151154. So it's probably 3-ish years old. So you can see these are all glued down, and these stones are my smaller stones. I bought, they're like Swarovski Hot Fix in SS8, and these are the 8s, I think. And then SS6 are my tiniest ones, and I did not use those on here. And so there's also in this are light pink. They all have like an Aurora Borealis iridescent coating on them, and all of these various sized ones that are pinkish to red are all from the from my heart. I colored this alligator and the bike in the following blends colors: Sweet Sorbet, Lemon Lolly, Basic Gray, Old Olive, and Mossy Meadow. And the circle is from Stylish Shapes. This notepad die is from Gorgeously Made. And the DSP right back here, this is also from the Country Lane, Floral Lane, and I tore all 4 sides and then have little sections of Sweet Sorbet to show you the back side, because this isn't even attached yet. Here's what I did on the back. I just used 4 little pieces of Sweet Sorbet, pretty much just 2 lengths from my basic card front size, A2 size that I cut them down to. So that is a little trick for conserving your paper. And so this is a leftover bow from Christmas, and this is made entirely from, I believe, Hobby Lobby pieces, except the Baker's Twine red and white, that is from the Dollar Tree. And the crochet ribbon, this is the iridescent. This crochet comes in these larger wrapped balls, kind of like yarn, but way smaller. And you get 5 per pack, and I used a coupon. And then these threads, this is just regular polyester thread, and the polyester gives it a sheen, and I have these threads in all different colors. I bought these back in the day when Stampin' Up! Had some threads, but they didn't have them in all different colors. And so I have slowly built up my collection of threads so that now I have like kind of all the colors. This little heart is actually Mossy Meadow, and it is from, I don't even know the name of it, but I use it. It's in my travel planner. So Stampin' Up! Had a set of like a calendar set. It's not the one that has the calendar dates. It just has, maybe it's more like planner, to do, remember, all that. And that's all in my planner. And I pulled out, there's 4 hearts from that particular set. I might try to look it up, and I'll put it in the description. I'm looking if there's anything else I am missing, and I think that covers it. Oh, splatter. I don't know what that splatter stamp is. That is a very unique splatter. I suspect that it's Gorgeously Made. Does Gorgeously Made have a splatter? It does not. It has the text, distressed text. So I am not sure, but the one that sits beside me right here is from Nature's Prints, I believe. And that is my favorite splatter of all time, because I can do just the edges, or I can focus on the center. That's what it looks like stamped. And it is very well worn. But sometimes I'll go and grab a different splatter, or I'll have a stamp set out and I just grab its splatter. And you can see that this splatter is much more delicate than this Nature's Prints, which is, I believe that's where it's from. So that's all I've got. If I'm missing anything, if you have any questions about any of these paper pumpkin kits from 2018 to 2023, let me know. I will be doing at least, I'll do my alternatives. So even though I'm sending out all these that I have, I will immediately be replenishing my Valentines so that I have some ready for next year. So I will still be doing the alternatives, but those won't be until around the 20th of the month. of January. And by that time, I want you guys to have all sorts of ideas by then. So I just didn't want to wait. Okay, so that is the end of this episode, the end of this lovely card. Tomorrow, or whenever, the next couple days, I will put together one that has more than one card. This is my vertical favorite way that I do card bases. This is made with thick cardstock, though I still think that I am not as against the thin cardstock due to weight issues. I have to be very careful now that I've noticed I'm in a home and I've been here for a little over a year. I had some Christmas cards that were 1.1 ounce. And when I was traveling, I never made a card that was too heavy. So I need to be careful. And I have found that I'm sometimes using the basic white normal thickness, not the thick, to do my bases. So again, if you have any comments, questions, concerns about this series, questions about the paper pumpkin kits, about the card I just showed you, do let me know and I will respond. I love to get comments from everybody. Thank you to those who are visiting, and if you made it this far, I would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel if you like the content. Do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.